Welcome to Living with Autism by Michael Lettman. We're going to be talking about my first year, spring semester, during my time in the Melissa Riggio higher education program. To help out with this topic, we have a special guest who shall be asking me questions about this topic, and I shall be answering them from my very own perspective. That special guest is Frank Laskowitz.
Hello everyone. Hi Michael, thank you for having me on your YouTube channel.
Thank you, Frank, for helping out with this topic.
Yes, of course, and I've prepared some questions for you, buddy. So let's begin. How were your classes for the spring semester?
How are my classes? Well, in my spring semester schedule, I had 2 classes. One class in the English subject, it was a drama class, and one class in the recreation subject, bodybuilding. During my time in English drama class, it was a little complicated. My class and I were looking up a few lines from scripts, I think, from plays, I think. I mean, that's drama, right? And we read some of the lines, did a little acting while we were sitting at our desk paying attention to professor and stuff. We done some research. It was a little complicated, but I took my time with it. And in my bodybuilding class, we were in a room with electronic exercise equipment for our class. For our bodybuilding class, we did some bodybuilding exercises. Of course, I was on the ground doing some bodybuilding exercising, and it was a little complicated for me, but I took my time with it, and we got to use the machines a little for a few minutes before we continue with our exercise routines. So,
Sounds like fun.
A little complicated those classes were, but I took my time with them.
How did you like your professors?
Oh, my professors? Yeah, they were nice. I forgot their names, but the professor in the bodybuilding class, he has some specific rules for his class, and I had to follow them. And I did. I mean, it is a bodybuilding class, so gym attire. And of course, I had to put my stuff in the locker room, just like he said. I followed his rules and prepared for my bodybuilding class. And the professor in the English drama class, he was a nice guy. I mean, I've always thought his class was complicated, but he told me some nice words, and I make sure I take my time in his class so I can see if I can do his work.
When the pandemic hit, what happened to your classes?
About that, I'm sure we all know that the pandemic ruined everything. As it was only some weeks that I was in my 2 classes for my spring semester. In my bodybuilding class, of course, we got interrupted. And in my English drama class, we were supposed to do an assignment involving 3 stories, I think. And we were supposed to do some writings. Well, I mean writing, read 3 stories, one at a time, and we do a little writing about it. I mean, the assignment was hard to explain. But right before we were supposed to do that assignment, the pandemic hit, ruined everything for my spring semester. And of course, I end up being locked up in my home since March.
Yes, I'm very sorry to hear that. What were your feelings and emotions when you heard the program would still be happening, but through Zoom, online?
Well, I got sad about it. I mean, it was a new part of life now. I felt like it. I mean, I had to do my classes and only speak to my program only with Zoom. Yeah. After I received my classes from the supervisor and I had to say goodbye to my original spring semester schedule, that's how it goes. It was the only way we can continue with program while I'm being locked up in my home.
What AHRC classes did you take?
What AHRC classes did I take during the spring semester? Okay, the ones that replaced my 2 original classes. I need to take my time to remember the classes. If I remember, one was personal exploration, and there was also a self-discovery class. There was also a... it's fading from my head. Oh yeah, show and tell. Yeah, some of the classes are hard to remember. Oh yeah, two mentors helped out with my project a little. They were kind enough to do that. And we had dancing and karaoke. Yeah, and there were even more classes. It's hard for me to remember. I'm sorry.
That's okay. What were some things that you didn't like, and what were some things that you did like?
Or some of the things I did like, and some of the things I don't like. Well, from what I can remember in my classes, I can explain some of the things I do like. One of the classes in my spring semester was a relationship class. One of the mentors was kind enough to explain to me about good and toxic relationships. Yes, I see the difference in toxic behaviors now. We all seen that in bad people that are spoiled or rotten, no offense. But I've learned that all in a toxic behavior. And I also learned from my relationship class there are hardly any good people out there with good relationships. And there are mostly toxic types out there. That's what I believe. But I can understand the difference between a good and a toxic relationship from one of my classes. Yes, I've enjoyed some of my classes. It was very good. I've learned a lot in that relationship class. And as for my other classes, I learned some things and I do. Let me fix my words. I am so sorry. I got some help from my mentors who helped in my project. I appreciate that. I enjoyed my karaoke class a little. I had an exercise class. I liked it a little. There are some things I liked. I really did. And now for some of the stuff I don't like. And I need to be honest with you. Well, because what I don't like is doing a class via Zoom because staying back in front of a computer, doing a class with my classmates and my mentor doesn't feel that good for me. I mean, technically, that's not what I originally signed up for starting in my college program. But I understand no one could have predicted the virus striking the world and changing everything. And there were some classes I don't like. Well, I had a hard, it was hard, it was complicated and it was hard for me to follow, and that's why I sat back there, looking at the stuff fading from my head, not understanding a thing. And one final comment about that. I can be disrespectful to the mentors at times when I'm not having a good time in my classes, but I have to learn the hard way to take my time with those classes.
Very good stuff. Thank you for your honesty, and that's awesome to hear, Michael. How was the
Thank you.
workload of your classes? Was it challenging?
Oh, the workload? It was challenging, I have to admit. As I mentioned before, some of my classes were complicated, hard to understand. I mean, I had to take my time with it as we were going over some things, especially my relationships class. Just like it took me a while to learn the difference between good and toxic relationships. We had to watch movies, we had to watch a few clips, we had to watch some explanation videos. I learned well in that class. And as for the other classes, I really need that keep fading from my head. It was hard to remember. But no buts. Took my time with those classes despite the complications, and I managed to done okay in those classes, I hope. A little, and I hope.
All right, sounds very good. I'm glad you were able to learn those skills because that's definitely something important in life. Now that your spring semester is over, can you tell us a little bit about how your summer semester is going?
Oh, my summer semester. Well, in the beginning, there are some good classes that I've been enjoying. And with the spring semester done, I'm glad I enjoyed it in the beginning before the pandemic struck. And the classes after that are now under Zoom, it cheered me up a little. Even though I've been locked in my home since March, during those attending those classes via Zoom, it cheered me up a little. And as for the summer semester, I will get back to all of you later on about more details about that. Also, I declared the summer semester my first full quarantine semester. The spring semester didn't count because in the beginning, when we still had our freedom, I was in 2 classes originally.
Okay, great. So, any tips for people that are watching who are interested in the Melissa Riggio program? What should they expect?
Oh. Well, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I would say there would have been some good classes to choose. There would have been some upcoming professors, some classmates to attend class with, some mentors to help you out. Lots of excellent stuff. And lots of activities during our class via AHRC. That's what the Melissa Riggio program is all about. And as of right now, I'm now a second-year student, and there have been some new classmates. And I hope they'll get to enjoy our college program, just like I hope all of you will be interested in attending the Melissa Riggio Higher Education program. Whether it's we get our freedom back or it'll still be like this, classes via Zoom. I know you'll meet some nice mentors. You'll meet some nice classmates. We can still do activities via Zoom, and some of the classes via Zoom are actually good. You never know. After all, some of the classes I took, just like that relationship class, I've learned a lot. Some of the classes were very useful and helpful for me, and I was grateful for it. I've enjoyed my classes. I really did. Some classes I do enjoy, some classes I don't enjoy. And I hope you all understand that.
That's great. That's really good. And that's all the questions I've had for you for today. I'm glad your spring semester, it had its ups, it's had its downs, and you do a phenomenal job, man. Very proud
I'm
of you.
grateful to that, Frank Laskowitz. I thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And everyone, I hope you shall enjoy more of Living with Autism by Michael Lettman, especially during my time in the Melissa Riggio Higher Education program. That's all.
And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.